Can any of you lot tell me what the most expensive car ever was? Or at least this was for quite a while. It was recently taken by the Mercedes 300 SLR Uhlenhaut, a road-going version of a car that won the Mille Miglia race. Well, the one I'm thinking of is the Ferrari 250 GTO. Sold for £70 million, which is quite frankly ludicrous. Especially since it's not really that fast anymore, and it'll probably go wrong. But the reason I bring this up is because I'm driving it. Only I'm not. This looks kind of like a cross between an E-Type, a Corvette, and a Shelby Daytona. It looks nothing like a real 250 GTO. And yet, it's also really, really pretty. So while this fake model bears absolutely no relevance to the real one, in its own right, it's gorgeous. Interesting trick to pull off, but it does work. Anyway, you may remember a couple of days ago, I was reviewing the newest in the Berlinetta series of Ferrari, the 812 Competizione. Now, they started out with the 550 Maranello, but what a lot of people forget is that before it, there was also a Berlinetta series. That started out with the 250, I think. The 250 GT. And ended with the Daytona. And this is one of the most iconic ones of it. It's the 250 GTO. Now, this has no right being as fast as it is. Because just like, well, and as expensive as it is. Because just like in real life, this is, in Dealership Tycoon, the most expensive car in the game. Yep, that's right. An old 1960s Ferrari has now become the most expensive car in all of Dealership Tycoon, beating out the Bugatti Vision GT, which as of right now has a value of 41 million. Although it did only have about 20 million in value when it was released. Thanks for that one, inflation. Anyway, it is also statistically the best. Earns the most money on the dealership, that's a full $100. Earns the most money per mile, 7,850. Best acceleration by a long way at 0.93 seconds. And a perfect 100 in the braking, although apparently handling is lacking. So yes, this old Ferrari, when you give it some tuning, is faster than a W16 Bugatti. Yeah, let's just say that the figures have been ever so slightly inflated in this game. Although it does mean that now I have retired my Bugatti Vision GT as grinding cart. After putting, hold on, let me just check. Yep, 13,000 miles on it. So, it's got its well-earned rest, and now it's been replaced by a car that's 20 million quid more expensive than it. And faster. I ran some speed tests when this came out against a fully tuned Vision GT. On the top speed race, this thing was faster by half a second. Now to put that into perspective, they both took under 13 seconds. That's ludicrous. It's genuinely insane. Half a second, that's entire light years at this scale. I'm shocked. Genuinely shocked. Damn, this car is amazing. Now, I know I've just been talking about speed, but it may surprise you to realise that this and the Vision GT have the same top speed of 398 miles an hour. Which means that it must all be down to acceleration. And yeah, it is. This thing accelerates so quick. it accelerates like a normal car while past 250 miles an hour. How the heck did they make this car so fast? And do you want to know the best bit? All this performance, yes, it is 60 million, but you still have 3 weeks to get it. Which means that if you were to start up an account right now, if you did the right amount of grinding, you could probably get it. Which isn't broken in the slightest. And what makes it even better is the fact that this thing earns so much money while driving. So even just putting your foot down a little bit, you're making bank. Genuinely insane, this thing. Now, this thing may have the power and speed of a car from 21-24, but it's definitely got the suspension and chassis from a 1960s car. It is woefully bad in the handling department. You can't go anywhere without having to stop because it's so fast. The moment you hit the grass, that's it, all your steering's gone. Coming out of the corners, the steering is heavy and unresponsive. And you wanna know the worst bit? The chassis is rigid and the suspension is lumpy, which basically means, as you just saw there, that quite often the back will step out. This thing handles horrendously badly. Now, I absolutely understand this. They've made the best car in the game, so they need to, not make it too good. But it is still genuinely so frustrating having a car with this much power and just being unable to use it. It's really annoying and very much disappointing. Here's an interesting little curveball that I've thrown. I've set a benchmark time for this 250 GTO in the Vision GT of 27.76 seconds. Now, what we've got to do is get as close to it as possible. Here we go. Oh, that was terrible. Oh, and I've got loads of ping as well. Right, come on, little 250. Oh, I'm driving shockingly badly. Come on. More power. Very good. I think it's all over though. Oh no. More than a second off. Oh dear, that was terrible. And I'm not sure how much of that was down to my appalling driving or my ping. Probably my appalling driving though. And a mix of the 250 GTO's handling problems. What a shame. So, that hurt. But I decided that I was going to compare it to the Bolide instead, because that's the most fast and most expensive shop car that there is. The Vision GT is limited, it's irrelevant. You're probably never going to be able to get it again. And that's where things get worse, because I decided that I'd do a hot lap in the Bolide. I beat my own time in the Vision GT by 0.4 seconds. That hurt. That hurt a lot. So, still, the Vision GT was the better grinding car because it made so much more money, but turns out it wasn't as fast. Bit awkward. Anyway. So, if you want a really, really, really fast car, get a Bolide. But if you want a really, really good grinding car, that's where this comes in. Because it makes so much more money than the Bolide, like, 50% more, plus. That's the reason this exists. Also, it's a collector's piece. It's going to be very rare in the future because of its price tag. So get it while you can. And by while you can, I mean you've still got 3 weeks left. So on that terrible disappointment, for me, because the fact that I've been wrong for all this time is really fucking annoying. Thank you all for watching. Review of the Vision GT, or at least reviews of the Vision GT, will be out on Monday. Those are the anniversary specials. In the meantime, Dealership Tycoon is updating today, so you'll have reviews on that for the rest of the week. See you all then, hopefully.